Yo guys, nah, it's Max Clausen, and it's finally time to link into the reins yet again. So, we got the Alliance Insight released this Friday, and for the sneak peek weekend of it, and your boy was able to cop all the new Adignista cards. Now, no, this is not a Malice deck because, in all fairly, F to that deck to the highest degree, taking our very anime-based cards and making it their own for their degeneracy. But this is, as you guys know me, I don't like to play the super high competitive tier deck like Malice, Ryziel. I like to have a little fun, make my own playstyle, and play decks that I like. And this deck, it got so much stronger. Now, different from the other version that I posted a while ago, you guys can check that out. I'll probably link it on the screen. This is a more so going first style, so it's going to be a little different, obviously, with our new cards. So we're going to be showing you the main and extra. There's no side deck because I want to keep that to myself, and mainly because side decks are more so for your local environment, so you alter and change it depending on what you fight almost every weekend. Every week. So without further ado, let's get straight into this deck profile. So for starters, we have our new boy, the 2 Wizard Adignista. So this card, I was playing it at 1 with testing, so this is now updated to 2 because I do kind of want to have it so I don't have to waste a search on it. His effect is while you control a Cyberus monster summoned from the extra deck, you can target a dark Cyberus monster in your graveyard for cost, summon both that monster and this card at the same time, and in defense position, and for the rest of this turn you are locked into Cyberus monsters. It also has a graveyard effect. You can banish it and target a monster your opponent controls and change position, akin to the original form of it being Cyberus Wizard, but we don't use that. So very good combo extender. You do have to have a monster summoned from the extra deck, which is why we're choosing to go first with this deck. Next up, we have 3 Picari Adignista, or some people like to call it Pikachu Adignista. Man, I'm so glad I kept this. I made this deck when I did because when the new support came out, man, a lot of these things skyrocketed in price. Insane. So Picari, as you guys already know, but for those who don't know and are just seeing this profile for the first time, Picari is always your searcher for your eye, spell, and trap cards, but you're mainly using it to fetch your extender spell cards. Next up, we do play the 1 Doyon Adignista. You can play this at more than 1 if you want, but with the new support, it is even more viable to play this just at 1. On normal or special summon, this card adds back any of your Adignista monsters from your graveyard to your hand, and when it's sent to the graveyard for link material, you can add one of your eye, spell, or trap cards from your graveyard back to your hand, which helps you set up for your next turn, or to use cards that you already used. Next up is the card that makes that annoying Malice deck super stronger, is 3 Backup Adignista. What she does is insane. So, just like Wizard, you have to control a Cyberus monster summoned from the extra deck to summon her, to special her. If she is summoned, you can add one dark Cyberus monster from your deck to your hand, and then you discard a card. And what's even crazy is that, if you notice, she is a tuner. So now, Bururu is not our only way to synchro summon. Speaking of, we do still play the 1 Bururu, because being able to foolish any of your Cyberus monsters any of your Adignista monsters in order to try and get it back with either Wizard or Doyon is pretty good. Also, one whole point about this deck is if you have any one way of interacting with your deck, you're off to the races, because all the Adignista monsters are a 1-card starter, essentially. Speaking of, we have our Stratos of the deck. Another 1 card is 3 Achichi. As I said, it's the Stratus of the deck. It searches you any of your level 4 or lower Adagnister monsters. And when your Adagnister monster battle, or when your Cybers monster battles, you can banish this card and then destroy that monster you control that's battling. That's never really gonna be something you use, because why would you? In case you're trying to dodge like some kind of burn effect or something like that. But you know, it's there if you want to use it. Next, I do still play the one Hiyari Adagnister, just because it's a free body you can summon if you control an Adagnister monster, and it can level modulate itself. You can either because of we running I Meet You can choose to run Doshin Adagnister if you want to, because we do play Transcode Talker in here, and it'll be able to search that. But I choose to run Hiyari just because we could use it as one of our materials for something else that I will show later. The next new card that I think a lot of people who, if you're playing this deck, you definitely should run this, is the one Kurinku Adagnister. Yes, we got our Link Kuriboh back in the game, somewhat. So this card, if you control if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you contribute an Adagnister monster you control to summon this card, but you banish it when it leaves the field. And when a card or effect is activated that targets one of your Cybers monsters and you control the Cybers monster summoned from the extra deck, you contribute this card and negate that effect. So it works just like Link Kuriboh and the original Link Kuriboh in a sense, but mainly I use it to, if I summon Achichi Adagnister, I go effect, they try to hit me with an Imperm or a Veiler, you can just chain Kurinku, tribute Achichi, summon Link Kuriboh, you get your search off, which is pretty strong. That's it for the monsters, a decent amount. Next up for our spell cards, we still play the 3 I Meet You, just because this is, like I said, any card that interacts with your deck is pretty much full combo, so this is another one, and it searches you pretty much 3 or 4 of your starting cards. You reveal a Cybers monster in your extra deck with 2300 original attack, then you add one Adagnister monster of that same attribute. However, if you do not summon that monster, you take its attack points as damage to your life points, so you'll always end up taking 23. Next up is the new 3i Connect. This card is so good. It has 2 different effects. First you reveal a Cybers monster in your hand for cost, and then you apply one of the following effects based on the attribute. If you reveal a dark monster, you can summon that monster, and then you can add a level 4 or lower non-dark Cybers monster to your hand. So if you have backup in your hand, you just activate this, summon her, add something that you want to. The combo is you activate this, reveal backup, summon backup, add Doyon, use backup to search wizard, pitch Doyon. Next up we have the 1 Ignister Island, because this effect is still busted. If you don't know, while your main monster zone is empty, you can activate this card to summon an Adagnister monster level 4 or lower to your main monster zone, but you can use that effect once per attribute. And should it die, you just banish an Adagnister monster from your graveyard to set it back to your field, so it doesn't lose to Ghost Ogre. We do next have the 1 Fighting Spirit and the 1 Idol Reborn. Both of these are basically just a monster reborn for an Adagnister monster. However, Fighting Spirit, it protects your monster from card effects, and Idol Reborn has the effect where if 2 monsters are battling, you can banish this and a card in your graveyard to add an I spell or trap card back from your grave to your hand. Next, I'm playing a new card. Well, it's not new. It's been out, but I never played it. But now I kind of want to test it and see how well it does. And that's going to be the 1 Tie Strike. Now, this card, I don't blame you if you guys don't know what it does, so I will read it to you. You can, during damage calc, If your monster battles an opponent's monster, your battling monster's attack becomes that monster's attack during the calculate damage calc only. Also, the controller of any monster destroyed in battle destroyed by of that battle takes damage equal to that monster's original attack at the end of the damage step. And if you're adding this to monster battles, you can banish this card to keep it safe from dying. So I believe I can believe it can work like this, where you can attack, damage calc, activate, their stats are equal. This is now in the graveyard. You banish it to keep your monster safe while their monster dies and they take damage. So it can work as a time card, should need be, which is pretty sick. Next is the Sidekick. It's the only eye trap card I actually own, so I don't have IQ, Eye Shadow, Eye Show, none of those. But this is actually one you want to use, because just like the hero card, where I believe it's a hero supremacy or whatever it is, this basically acts as a omni board negate based on how many monsters you control with 2300 original attack. And you can banish this card from your graveyard and target one of your banished Cyberus monsters and summon it if it stays in the graveyard. But you'll oftentimes want to recycle this with either Idol Reborn or even Doyan's effect. That is it for the eye-based part of this deck. Now we're moving on to the hand trap section. There's a lot of them. We play the 3 Mo-Charming Fawalos. Even though we're going first, we do still want to see this card just in case our hand isn't that great. We play the 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring to keep our opponent from touching the deck. And the 2 Jolin Lockbird, just so if we see it to stop our opponent. And if they Fawalos us, if we got everything we need, we can just Jolin Lockbird. They're no longer drawing cards. Next, we do have the triple Tactus Talents, the 1 Called by the Grave, and the 1 Crossout Designator. God, it's so stupid that Konami decided, yeah, this card's too strong, we want the hand traps to play, so cross out at 1. Such an L move from them anyway. And then we run the 3 Infinite Impermanence, just, it's Imper. That's it for the main deck, a total 40 cards. Now we move into the delicious extra deck. We still run the 1 Wind Pegasus at Ignister for clearing our opponent's back row depending on how many Adignisters we control, including itself. And while it's in the graveyard, if any of our cards die by battle or effect, we can banish it and then spin one of their cards back to their hand. Next, we have the new Firewall Saber Dragon, which is pretty strong. On special summon, you can target a Cyberus monster in your grave or banishment and then add it back to your hand, so it acts as a extender for somewhat grind games. And if it's used as link material, you can add an eye spell cards from your deck to your hand, and it can level modulate itself by targeting one of your other Adignista monsters. Next up, we play the 1 Code Igniter. Its first effect is kinda irrelevant because when it's XC summon, you add a Cyrus ritual monster, but we don't play any. The main effect it would be here for is that you use it. If it's used as link material, it grabs you your Ice Trap cards, which will be Sidekick. We play the 1 Light Dragon at Ignister still because this is our clearer for monsters, just like Ignister is for spells. This one is for monsters. And when your Cyberus monster inflicts battle damage, you can summon one of your Cyberus monsters back from your graveyard, which is insane. We run the 1 Dark Infant at Ignister now. It's on Link Summon, it gets you a field spell. And when you Link Summon if a Link monster that's pointing this card activates his effect, you can use his effect to move it and change its attribute. We only really used that for if we were still running the Arrival at Ignister, but in this profile, spoilers, we don't. Next up, if we do get hit with the nib, we still have the Link Spider, so we can still make plays and it'll free up our main monster zone. I choose to run the 1G Golem Crystal Heart again, just because Dominus Impulse is a thing, and while I was testing this out against a friend, He did impulse my transcode talker, which was sad, and it got destroyed, and I had no way of getting it back. So running this here will actually help you get back transcode, and then transcode will summon back any of your link 2 or low, link 3 or lowers, which is really good. And when you summon an earth monster to its zone, while it gains a counter, everything it's pointing to gains 600 attack, and it can't be destroyed by effects, and it does piercing damage, which is ridiculous. Next up, which needs to get a rarity bump in the next OTS pack, or God for something, jeez, Konami, come on already, is Cyber's Wicked. Everyone should know, but if you don't, anything is pointing to can be destroyed by effects. If a monster is special to normal or special to a zone it points to, it banishes a Cyber's monster from your graveyard for cost, and then adds a Cyber's tuners. Oh, so now we have 2 targets, being backup or Buru. The one Splash Mage, I will be upgrading this in the QCR in time, don't worry guys. I still play the 1 update Jammer just because I love this guy. We play the Transcode Talker, the Dark Templar Adagnister, the Decode Talker Heat Soul, the Access Code Talker for game, and now finally the boy that really brings this deck together in a new light is ALIN Code Talker. God, I hate that name, honestly. I'm just going to stick to calling it a Code Talker Adagnister, if that's okay with you guys. So its effect is that when this card is link summoned, you can target and special summon any amount of monsters in your graveyard with 2300 base attack and summon them to its zones, and it gains 500 for each. And when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can tribute one of the link monsters it points to, keep in mind, negate that effect, and if you do, banish that card. Pretty insane. So you're oftentimes gonna have this under it, you'll have transcode under it, and how I play most times, I have the Firewall, the Saber Dragon under it, because these are the main cards with 2300 I go into. In other plays, you could end up, if it goes into a certain late game, you can summon this back, which is great, which is funny. But that is going to be it for this update of my Adagnister deck profile. Let me know what you guys think of the new the Adagnister cards, and let me know if you guys want to play this deck pure, or if you're playing it in Malice. I'm gonna shun you, but good stuff regardless. If it helps the Cybers deck, it helps the Cybers deck. And I will see you. And if you guys want combo video, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, be sure to help subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends. And if you want to support me financially, my Cash App and PayPal are down below to help me purchase cards for deck profiles and to add things to the channel for you guys to enjoy. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.